I normally like to thank Almighty God for blessing me with opportunities like this one, whereby we can introduce a major project in this country, and a project I believe that is very dear and near to all of us. Martin Lee spoke about history and the history behind this part of St. Kitts, to wit Old Road Bay. And I must first recognize as well all the residents from Old Road area. I see them here, and I almost want to say family, but one of them is my family, so if I said family, that's okay. But as a young boy, I remember going on what we call Sunday school outings. I don't know if they have those things today. But we went on outings, and I recall going in either Mr. Clifton's big truck or Son Warner's big truck, for those of you who are old enough to remember those trucks. We never had these fancy buses like we have today, the coaster buses and so on. We had trucks. And I vividly recall passing across Old Road Bay. And it captured me as a young boy then. When we got so close to the ocean, at times you felt we were going to slip in the ocean, so you got some trepidation, some fear. But even as a young boy, I not only became scared driving across Old Road Bay, but I was also attracted by the beauty. I also recall back then, years ago, there were wooden guardrails all across Old Road Bay. And those guardrails were replaced by metal guardrails. But now I have become a grown man, most of those guardrails have gone. I also remember driving across Old Road Bay. As a young boy, the road seemed to be high from the water. But now, as a grown man, the road seemed to be sinking. But the fact is, I'm advised that the sea level is rising and the road is not really sinking. So in these areas, or in the era rather of climate change, the sea continues to rise, weather patterns continue to change. We have now moved from the 1 in 50-year cycle storm to the 1 in near 200-year cycle storm. A matter of fact, hurricane winds are now packing at 168 miles and more per hour. I believe that Maria was somewhere in the region of 168 miles per hour. But one of the things I always think about is that after every storm, there are 3 ministers that come on the road very early in the morning. And in recent times, we still keep our communication lines intact. We still have our telephones. So after Maria, my phone would have rang before midnight, and it would have rang 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning. And guess who is calling? One of those ministers, the Prime Minister. The other minister who is always on the road is the minister responsible for NEMA. He in fact sleeps in the office. That's true, right? He sleeps in the office. He has summoned all his NEMA staff to the office once the storm direction is known, and all the details are known. The last time I believe they had to report to the office at 9 o'clock in the night. I'm happy I'm not on that NEMA committee because I like to sleep in my own bed, do you? So the other minister on the road early is yours truly. And when the Prime Minister and our team started doing the inspection, we went way to the Southeast Peninsula and came towards this side of the country, and Old Road Bay was, as the director said, impassable. We could not pass Old Road Bay. So our experience in 2017 with the disconnecting of this artery of the Island Main Road is one the people of this part of beloved St. Kitts must never have to endure again. Because those who live in the area, Old Road, for about 2 weeks or less, had to commute some 20 miles or more to go to Bastia. And those coming from Bastia as well had to do the same, 20 miles to get to Old Road. And, you know, some drivers started or attempted to gouge the prices. So we decided that this would never happen again. It was not too difficult to convince the Prime Minister and his deputy. I single them out because they're both accountants. The Prime Minister has a PhD and the deputy has an ACCA, a CPA. So you know these accountants, with no disrespect, drive the cars in the rearview mirror because they like to watch the monies being spent. But after hearing and seeing the suffering of the people in this area, it was easy to convince our cabinet that we had to fix this problem once and for all. This challenge we face reminded us that building resilience is not an option anymore in St. Kitts. It is the only response to these extreme weather events. In the wake of hurricanes like Irma and Maria, we needed first to channel the resources quickly and efficiently and effectively as well, in order to ensure that they positively impact those that were most adversely affected, and those people mostly affected were the thousands who commute to and from Bastia via Old Road on a daily basis. Secondly, we needed to ensure that we utilize the expertise available to us along with the institutional knowledge. And we have expertise available to us. And one of the things, or one of the policies of this team unity administration is, where possible, when we come to these projects, where possible, we must have local input. As a matter of fact, firstly, we demand total local input. And I'm happy to repeat, as the consultant intimated, that for this major project, $31 million project, we had all local contractors tendering, and the selected contractor is a local man. And that we are proud of, and we ask to give Rock and Dirt a wonderful round of applause. Now we needed, as I said, to help to build resilience. And resilience starts with forecasting and preparedness. But how can we really prepare for 2 Category 5 storms in 2 weeks, Irma and Maria? Given these facts, and given today's climate variabilities, the question arises is not whether a new storm will hit us, not whether a new storm event will take place, but when and how bad will it be? Thirdly, we needed to think creatively and to come up with innovative solutions to the compounded challenges across Old Road Bay. And that's why, as a cabinet, we were intimately involved in the decision making as it relates to this project. The consultant outlined the issues because many people have their own views as well, and rightly so. We have quite a lot of engineers, even as I speak. But the decisions made, we believe, was the right one. And I believe I can add that there is potential as well, having reclaimed all this land. There is potential to reclaim more land and to really give Old Road Town the wow boost that it so deserves. Last but by no means least, we needed to work with all stakeholders, including friendly governments, and one such government is the Republic of China on Taiwan, represented here today by Ambassador Lee, Ambassador Tom. And I want you to give him a wonderful round of applause. Because the Republic of China on Taiwan has agreed to grant fund the entire project. If I misspoke, I was just preaching faith, Ambassador Lee. But the ambassador has agreed to grant fund a great portion of this project, and we trust we are still in negotiations. But for that, sir, we are eternally grateful. The 5 contractors I'm advised were St. Kitts Nevis Marine Works, headed by Reg Francis. Reg, take a bow. Kelly Construction, Elco Limited, Engineering and Construction, and as I said, the winning contractor, Rock and Dirt. And we look forward to the completion of this project in an efficient and effective manner. In closing, I must say, therefore, that I'm humbled by this great privilege to introduce this important project here at Old Road Bay. This project would keep us on track to continue modernizing our country. From the day we got into office, we decided we are going to modernize St. Kitts and Nevis. And I believe you'll agree we are doing a wonderful job. This project is near and dear to me because, as the director outlined earlier, there's a young man from my constituency who died here one Sunday afternoon as a result of rockfall. And as a matter of fact, his brother told me a few months ago that they still have that stone, and they would like to place that stone somewhere prominently when we would have completed the road. Mr. Mully. So I'm happy and I'm humbled to be part of this process. And I look forward, as I said, to its effective and efficient completion. In closing again, I thank once more the Republic of China and Taiwan. I thank my entire cabinet for its full support on this and all other projects. And I must say, although I am leading all these projects, believe me, I am doing this work on behalf of the entire Team Unity administration. I want to thank the Public Works engineers, Director Cromwell Williams, George Gilbert, Larry Gums, Lincoln Pemberton, and young Hazel, who has just come on board. I want to give them all a wonderful round of applause. Public Works has come in for a lot of stick, to use colloquial language. But sometimes we have not stopped to think that the Public Works team has not really increased, but the number of projects has increased exponentially, to use a big word. And sometimes we have to bear with them. But I can say as the minister, did I say George Gilbert? I can say as the minister, they are working. I want them to work a little harder though, even with their short staff. But it's the first time that the Public Works Department spent the money allocated in the estimates for 1 year. And that is something we have to do every year. When ministries allocate or get allocation in particular for capital projects, we must implement them in the time period or in the particular fiscal year. And I must give the Public Works Department under Director Williams a wonderful round of applause. And finally, I must thank you for your attention. May God bless you, my people.